Here are the most recent deaths in the national news as reported at Legacy.com in the first week of October 2024. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any newspaper in America and beyond. Artist and designer Christopher Chone died October 4, 2024 in Michigan. He died of cancer at the age of 63. He was Madonna's brother, and he worked with her as art director for her Blonde Ambition tour director for Girly Show, choreographer, dancer, and more. Chone is also being remembered as a painter and interior designer, as well as the author of the best-selling tell-all book Life with My Sister Madonna. Singer Sissy Houston died October 7, 2024 at her home in Newark, New Jersey. She died while under hospice care for Alzheimer's disease at the age of 91. She was known for her gospel and soul music, including her 1979 hit Think It Over, and her work backing such singers as Elvis Presley and Otis Redding. Houston is also being remembered as the mother of record-breaking pop star Whitney Houston, and the aunt of singers Dionne and Dee Dee Warwick. Social media personality Taylor Rousseau Grigg died in October 2024 following an unspecified illness at the age of 25. She was a star of TikTok, known for her videos sharing her shopping finds and life in a camper with her husband. Grigg is being remembered as a fashion influencer known for her Western style. Football player Billy Shaw died October 4, 2024 in Toccoa, Georgia. He died of hyponatremia at the age of 85. He was a guard for the Buffalo Bills in the 1960s, helping them to victory at 2 AFL championships. Shaw is being remembered as the only player in the Pro Football Hall of Fame never to play in the NFL. He spent his entire career with the Bills before the leagues merged. Football player Greg Landry died October 4, 2024 at the age of 77. He was a quarterback for the Detroit Lions in the 1960s and 70s, and he was the team's last Pro Bowl quarterback for more than 30 years. Landry is also being remembered for his years coaching the Lions, as well as the Cleveland Browns and Chicago Bears. Football player Abdul Salam died October 8, 2024 after battling multiple health issues at the age of 71. He was a defensive tackle for the New York Jets in the 1970s and 80s. Salam is being remembered as a member of the team's famed New York Sack Exchange defensive line. Football player Pat Fisher died October 8, 2024 in Leesburg, Virginia at the age of 84. He was a cornerback for the St. Louis Cardinals and Washington Redskins, who went to 3 Pro Bowls and was inducted into the Washington team's Ring of Fame. Fisher is being remembered as Mouse, the nickname he got for his small stature, though his aggressive and skillful play more than made up for it. Author Laura Seagull died October 7, 2024 in New York City at the age of 96. A Holocaust survivor, she went on to tell the stories of other Jewish refugees in her acclaimed debut novel, Other People's Houses. Seagull is also being remembered for books like Shakespeare's Kitchen, for which she was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. Author Lily Aert died October 9, 2024 in London at the age of 100. Born in Hungary, she was a Holocaust survivor who spent many months imprisoned in the Auschwitz and Leipzig death camps before being liberated by Allied forces. Aert is being remembered for telling her story in the book Lily's Promise, and for her viral quest on social media to find the family of the U.S. soldier who rescued her. She was able to meet them in 2022. Author Robert Coover died October 5, 2024, in Warwick, England at the age of 92. He was known for such books as the Universal Baseball Association Incorporated, J. Henry Waugh, proprietor, and The Public Burning. He is being remembered for his experimental writing and offbeat storytelling. Coover was a U.S. Navy veteran who served for 4 years in the 1950s. Musician and songwriter Johnny Neal died October 6, 2024, of heart failure at the age of 70. He was a keyboardist with the Allman Brothers Band, and he co-wrote their hit comeback single, Good Clean Fun. Neal is also being remembered as a solo artist and a session musician who performed with David Allan Coe, Michael McDonald, and many others. Former U.S. Representative David Hobson died October 6, 2024, at a hospital in Dayton, Ohio, at the age of 87. He represented Ohio in the House as a Republican from 1991 to 2009. He is being remembered as a champion of veterans and health care. Hobson served in the Ohio Air National Guard from 1958 to 1963. Scientist Samy Boso died October 5, 2024, at the age of 28. He had the rare premature aging disease progeria, and he was one of the oldest people ever to survive with the condition. Boso is being remembered as an advocate for progeria awareness who fought for a cure both as a research subject and as a molecular biologist working on research teams. Actor Nicholas Pryor died October 7, 2024, in Wilmington, North Carolina. He died of cancer at the age of 89. He was a prolific character actor known for roles in such movies as Airplane, Smile, Risky Business, and Less Than Zero. Pryor is also being remembered for his TV work in shows like Beverly Hills 90210 and Port Charles. Singer Nell Smith died October 5, 2024, of injuries sustained in a car accident at the age of 17. She was known for her collaboration with the Flaming Lips. She recorded an album with the giants of indie rock when she was just 13 years old. Smith is being remembered as a rising star who was preparing to release her debut solo album before her untimely death. Former U.S. Senator Tim Johnson died October 8, 2024, at a hospice center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He died of complications from a stroke at the age of 77. He was the last Democrat to represent South Dakota on the national level, serving in the House from 1987 to 1997 and the Senate from 1997 until his retirement in 2015. Johnson is being remembered for his work to improve infrastructure, healthcare, and agriculture. Baseball player Louis Tiant died October 8, 2024, at the age of 83. He was a fan favorite pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, Cleveland Indians, and other teams in the 1960s through 80s. Tiant is being remembered for his unmistakable spinning pitching style, which he developed after an injury. Human rights advocate Ethel Kennedy died October 10, 2024, of complications from a stroke at the age of 96. She was the widow of Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and after his death, she raised their 11 children and carried on his legacy of working toward a more just world. Kennedy is being remembered as the founder of the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights, who was honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom for her lifetime of work on behalf of a better world. On October 10, 2024, Hurricane Milton made landfall in Florida. Several deaths have been reported as a result of the storm, but as of this recording, the scope of the damage is not yet clear. We will update you next week when more information is available. Additional deaths have been reported from Hurricane Helene, which hit the southeast last week. as of this recording, at least 232 people have died as a result of the storm, and many others are still unaccounted for. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 5 years ago this week, comedian and actor Rip Taylor died at the age of 88. He was the Prince of Pandemonium, known for campy TV appearances and for throwing confetti. 10 years ago this week, actress and comedian Jan Hooks died at the age of 57. She was a Saturday Night Live cast member in the 1980s and 90s, and she had roles on shows like Designing Women and Third Rock from the Sun. 20 years ago this week, comedian and actor Rodney Dangerfield died at the age of 82. Known for his I Don't Get No Respect comedy routine, he starred in movies like Caddyshack and Back to School. 20 years ago this week, actor Christopher Reeve died at the age of 52. He became one of the great cinematic superheroes when he starred in the Superman series of the 1970s and 80s. 35 years ago this week, actress Bette Davis died at the age of 81. She was the first person ever to be nominated for 10 Academy Awards, and she won for her performances in Dangerous and Jezebel. 50 years ago this week, industrialist Oskar Schindler died at the age of 66. He is credited with saving the lives of 1,200 Jews during the Holocaust, and his story was made famous in the novel Schindler's Ark and the movie Schindler's List. Singer and songwriter Christy McCall was born 65 years ago this week. She died in December 2000 at the age of 41. She was known for songs like A New England, Walking Down Madison, and her duet with the Pogues' Fairy Tale of New York. Comedian and actor Bernie Mac was born 67 years ago this week. He died in August 2008 at the age of 50. He starred on TV in The Bernie Mac Show and in movies like Ocean's 11 and Bad Santa. Musician and songwriter John Entwistle was born 80 years ago this week. He died in June 2002 at the age of 57. He was the bass guitarist for The Who, and he wrote and sang songs for the band, including Boris the Spider and My Wife. Singer and songwriter John Lennon was born 84 years ago this week. He died in December 1980 at the age of 40. His incredible body of work with the Beatles and as a solo artist made him one of the best-loved musicians of all time. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in Ohio have been lowered to honor the memory of former Congressman Dave Hobson. Flags in South Dakota have been lowered to honor the memory of former U.S. Senator Tim Johnson. Flags in Pennsylvania have been lowered to honor the memory of Keystone Water Rescue Lieutenant and Black Rock volunteer firefighter Brian D. Wampole. Flags in South Carolina have been lowered to honor the memory of the innocent South Carolinians who lost their lives as a result of Hurricane Helene. Flags in South Carolina have also been lowered to honor the memory of Chief Chad Satcher and firefighter Landon Cale Bodie of the Circle Fire Department, both of whom died in the line of duty. Flags in several states across the nation have been lowered in memory of the lives lost in the Hamas terrorist attacks against the people of Israel and in honor of those who are still held hostage, including American citizens. Flags in Missouri have been lowered to honor the memory of St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department officer David Lee III, who died in the line of duty. Flags in Massachusetts have been lowered to honor the memory of Staff Sergeant Ray Tourville Jr., U.S. Marine Corps. Flags in Minnesota have been lowered to honor the memory of law enforcement park ranger Kevin Grosheim, who died in the line of duty. Flags in Kansas have been lowered to honor the memory of former State Speaker of the House Marvin Williams Barkas. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.